I'm Jilly G. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make strawberry cupcakes with pistachio buttercream frosting. And I think that's my favorite frosting I found. Anyways, so first up is dry ingredients. Right here I have 3 cups of my gluten-free flour blend. And we're going to put in 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a half teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of salt. And just whisk this together. It doesn't need very much to make it all combined. And as always, everything room temperature. And just set this aside. I've got my oven preheated to 350. In this bowl, I have 3/4 of a cup of really soft butter. And to the butter, we're going to add about 3/4 of a cup of honey. And we're going to mix this until it's light and fluffy. That's looking really good. So now I have 5 eggs, also room temperature. We're going to go one at a time and mix in after each addition. Last egg. Okay, now I have 1/3 of a cup of sour cream and 2 teaspoons of, this is vanilla bean paste. I'll put a link below for this, but 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract or this vanilla bean paste. Make sure to get all of it. Okay, that's looking really good. If you notice it's a little chunky and separated, that's all right. It will all come together when we start adding in the dry ingredients. I'm just going to go a little bit at a time. I'm going to scrape the bowl down. And the last of the flour. So I'm going to scrape the bowl down again. Okay, so you'll notice the batter is getting quite thick, but we're going to add in 1/2 cup of, again, room temperature milk while the beaters are going. Okay, that's looking really good. So this is about 1/2 cup of my homemade strawberry puree. I made this yesterday. I'll show you how I did that before we add it in here. Puree enough strawberries to equal 1 cup. If you have a magic bullet and you fill it up, it will give you exactly 1 cup of strawberry puree. So now we're going to put this on the heat. And just stir it occasionally. We want this to reduce down by about half. And this will take about 20-25 minutes. So we're about 10 minutes in, and you want to keep going and stir it pretty continuously the thicker it gets. You don't want it to burn on the bottom. And so we'll go probably about another 10 minutes. So it's been 20 minutes, and you can see how thick this has gotten. You can strain it if you want and get the seeds out, but I don't mind. So we're going to take this off the heat. And so here we are, 1/2 cup of our pureed strawberries that have been reduced by about half. So I'm going to wrap this up and stick this in the fridge overnight. 1/2 cup strawberry puree in here. And I'm just going to mix this around. That's looking really good. You could always add so this is looking really good. Stop it, kitty. So this is looking really good. You could always add red food coloring or pink food coloring if you want to, but I like the natural look. So I have my cupcake tins here. lined with papers, and I'm just gonna start filling them up. And 2 spoons is easy. Okay, those are ready to go in the oven. So 24 cupcakes. These are gonna go for about, 25 minutes, and then I'll check them, maybe 30 minutes. You could do this in 2 9-inch cake pans, 3 8-inch cake pans, and into the oven they go. So my cupcakes were in the oven for about 30 minutes, give or take a little bit, but they're nice and springy on top. And I'm gonna let these cool in the pan for about 10 minutes and then take them out of the pan. So while the cupcakes are gonna finish cooling, we're gonna make the buttercream. And here is the custard I also made yesterday, and I'll show you how I did that. So we want to finely chop enough pistachios to measure a 1/2 cup. We can just put these right back into this cup that we were using. So measure 1/2 cup of finely ground pistachios, 3 eggs, and 3/4 cup of honey. And I'm gonna mix this with my whisk attachment. Five minutes of whipping our egg whites and our honey, and they are doubled in volume, light and fluffy. And now we're gonna put them in a saucepan. So now that our egg mixture is in our saucepan, I'm gonna add in our 1/2 cup of finely chopped pistachios. Medium-low heat, and we're gonna cook and stir this until a thick batter forms. And you wanna stir this constantly so it doesn't curdle the egg mixture. So this custard mixture has gotten quite thick. It's barely at a simmer. You don't want it to rapidly boil. You can see it's changed in color. And now I'm going to take it off the heat. Give it one more little stir. You can see how thick it is. And all of the nuts kind of clump together, but once it's cool and we make it into buttercream, they'll be more evenly dispersed. So I'm going to cover this with plastic wrap and stick it in the fridge. And you can see it's pretty well set. I am going to give it a good stir here. You notice it kind of separates the layers a little bit. And just stir that together. And the pistachios make it the pretty dark color. And the honey. So set that aside. In the bowl of our stand mixer, I have, it's one full cup of butter and 2 tablespoons. And it's room temperature. And let me bring it all closer. And we're going to attach this whisk attachment. Start it out and go for 5 minutes till it's nice and light and fluffy. So the buttercream has been going for about 5 to 7 minutes. And you can see it's a lot lighter and fluffier. So I'm just going to scrape down the bowl. And you can scrape down the bowl during the process. Okay, so now with this on low speed, we're going to start adding in our pistachio custard mixture a little bit at a time. It's looking really good. Get all of this off of here and give it one good stir, or a couple good stirs. And because this has bits of nut in it. I'm not going to use a tip with a piping bag. I'm not even going to use a piping bag. I'm going to use just a Ziploc bag. And so just put your buttercream in here. Okay. And I'm not going to seal it all the way, just so I can squish the air out of it. And because this is butter, if your hands are super warm and it gets too soft, you can't just stick it in the fridge. Scissors. And bring over your cupcakes. Last one. Let's give this a try. Pretty good. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.